folks. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome to episode 41 of Recommend an Album to Review. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. According to the stats, 80% of the folks that watch my channel aren't subscribed. So please do that. Doesn't cost you a dime, and it really helps the channel out. So for this week, I got an album that's absolutely killer. This blew me away, man. I can't wait to listen to this record again. It's that good. It's a band that I'd heard of before. I'd not heard any of their material, but I had heard of the band before because Bruce Kulick at one time was a member of this band. They've gone through a lot of different members. But the record I want to talk about today, first of all, the band is called Good Rats, and the record I want to talk about today is called Rat City in Blue. Now, this album came out in 1976, and the personnel at this point in the band, you had Pepe Marcello on lead vocals. What a voice on this guy, man. He's got rasp, but he's got range. He's just got a fantastic voice, killer. And Mickey Marcello, I believe they were brothers. He's on guitar and vocals. This guy, man, it's like if you like 70s rock guitar, but like on a higher level, this guy, you know, when you talk about guitar players that, you know, their solos are super memorable and they're perfect for each song, this guy nails it all the way through this record. Mickey Marcello, phenomenal. Lenny Cockey, great bass player. The other star of this show is Joe Braciola Franco on the drums. What an incredible. If you're a drum fan, this is the record for you. And then on second guitar, you've got John the Cat Gatto. So how would I describe these guys? I mean, so the record came out in 76. So there's some of that sort of 70s rock vibe to a lot of it. But then these guys go into some stuff that's a little bit on the proggy side. But everything is really melodic and really catchy at the same time. At times it kind of remind me of like Styx, you know, 70s Styx, but with a little maybe harder edge Styx. I even get like at times a Queen vibe from these guys. There's one track on here that's got a Stones kind of feel on the chorus. Really inventive, really creative songs. But even, I mentioned the prog thing, but their songs range between like 2.5 to about 5 minutes on average. That's sort of the gap. And the songs are so good, you kind of, at times, you want them to go on, and then they end, you know, like everything is very compact, but they put a lot of ideas in a very tight window. You got songs that are straight up hard rock tunes. You got songs that are kind of a little more rock but more commercial pop sounding. Then you got the proggy kind of experimental but very, very cool stuff with some little, you know, complicated arrangements. You've got it all on this record. That's why I love this record. It is so diverse. I mean, you know, there's something for everybody on this record. It's a really, really good listen all the way through. Really, really good. But let's go through the tracks. The first track on here is Does It Make You Feel Good? This is straight up 70s rock, really catchy song. I could hear this possibly on the radio. This is one of the more sort of straightforward songs. Doesn't have any of that proggy stuff to it. Straight up, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, all that kind of thing. But a really, really cool song. Really good. The second track, Boardwalk Slasher. It's got a real Queen vibe to it. A lot of different parts to this. You could maybe describe it a little proggy, but man, the parts are so good and they mesh together so nicely. And there's always a nice melody, a nice chord progression, a nice hook, always something to kind of keep you engaged. Just a fantastic song. Song number 3 is a title cut, Rat City in Blue. This is the most proggy song on here. It is so good. The jamming, the instrumental parts are great. The ensemble playing of the band is just so tight and so good. Guitar playing smokes. The drums are right in there. There's some really nice jams that go on in this song. This song is fantastic. Absolutely love it. Awesome title track. Then you got Reason to Kill. It starts off mellow with a beautiful chord progression. Then big chords come in. There's this amazing wah solo in it. The singing is great. Oh man, the vocals, the melody line. I mean, there's not a dog on this record. This is another fantastic song. I mean, it's even hard to pick a favorite, but would be one of my favorites. Reason to Kill is awesome. You got Writing the Pages. Again, you got the light, the lighters part and the heavier part, the light and the shade, that sort of thing. This one really gives me a Queen vibe. In the sort of the arrangement of the song, reminds me of some stuff like early Queen, maybe the first 3-4 records. Just another killer track, Writing the Pages. Again, all these songs, they're all memorable, and they all have really, really great hooks and great playing vocally. Drums, like I mentioned earlier, the guitar playing is killer, the bass, like it's all really, really top shelf, top notch stuff. Then you got The Room. This would be the closest thing to a ballad that they do on this record. It's piano driven, but then there's, the heavy guitars come in at some points, and an incredible, I mean, all the solos on this are great, but this one is a standout. The vocal on this, because it's a lot of times it's pretty sparse with piano and vocal. The vocals are killer on this record, and he does a fantastic job on this song. The Room is another great song. You got Almost Anything Goes. It's kind of a whimsical kind of vibe to it, kind of like Beatles Obla Di Obla Da or Maxwell Silverhammer, that kind of vibe. It's a shorter song, 2 minutes and 41 seconds, but just a different kind of song compared to the other ones. Each one of these songs, again, they all have their own identity, and this is just another variation on the theme and just another killer track. Man, I'm gushing. This record is amazing. Advertisement in the Voice. That has got radio hit written all over it. I don't know how big these guys were. They were a New York based band. I don't know. I never heard of Good Rats up here in Canada anyway, but this is like got a real Queen vibe to it again, and it's just a really, really beautiful, beautiful song. So hooky, beautiful melody. The vocals are fantastic. Just, yeah, this should have been a radio hit. You got Yellow Flower. This is kind of a silly song. Again, a different vibe. It's almost got kind of like a bar room, kind of ragtimey kind of feel to it. It's a cool tune. It's one of the weaker songs on here. I'll admit to it. There's no dogs on here. I'm not saying it's a bad song, but the other ones are so good. This is one of the weaker tracks on here, Yellow Flower. And there's Tough Guys. This is a really good 70s rocker. Not particularly heavy. It's more just like a bluesy rock song. But the chorus, man, it's got just Rolling Stone style guitars all over it. It sounded really, really cool and worked well with the track. Yeah, Tough Guys is another good one on here. And you got Hourglass. That's a killer track, man. It's just got everything in it. I should have mentioned, I mentioned Styx earlier. It has a little bit of that pomp rock vibe. Some of the songs are kind of grandiose. This falls in that category. But it's just really good, man. Again, great melody, great hooks, great guitar playing. The drums are phenomenal. The drums are phenomenal through this whole record. I've said that a million times, but it's just really, really good. Hourglass is another killer track on here. And then there's a live cut they tacked on at the end called Mean Mother, with some swearing on it, which mother blank, which I'm surprised they got away with that in 1976. But it's not a bad straight up rock song. It's got a pretty cool hook in the riff to it. But it's not, I don't know. I just think the worst I'll say about it is the recording of it. Just doesn't quite on the same level as the nice studio recordings of the other songs on here. But there you go, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like this, listening to this record and finally listening to Good Rats, I'm gonna do a deep dive in their catalog. If this is any indication, this is a killer band that just really never broke. But what a hell of a record, man. For 1976, I mean, this is right up there with Queen. I'm talking like, quality of songwriting and musicianship. This is right up there with Queen. This is right up with all the bands of the day. Styx, as I mentioned, Aerosmith, like some killer songs on here. Real talent in this band, like all kinds of ideas. There's a lot of different styles incorporated into here. Some within the same songs, were individual songs. It's just a really, really good listen. Like, I love this record. It's one of the best ones that I've done in a long time. So I want to thank the subscriber that suggested this record. If I was to give this a rating out of 5, man, this would be like a 4.5. The only reason I don't give it a 5 is probably because of that one track that's not up to par with the other ones. Yellow Flower. Yeah. But absolutely killer record. So the way this series works is every Thursday at 7 p.m. I put one of these videos out, and in the comments, if you folks are kind enough to suggest future records, I will check them out, and then I will give it a listen and do a review the following Thursday. So hope you have a good rest of your week. Please hit the thumbs up, and again, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. 80% of the people that watch this don't subscribe, and that would very much help the channel. So thank you all very much. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Cheers.